Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Infinite and we are back with another video. Now this one today is going to be about the new Infinite Warfare Zombies mode, and we got a little bit more information to be bringing to you guys. So first off, I'm going to be starting with the storyline. Now you guys know that the stream happened for Infinite Warfare where Jay Pharaoh interviewed some of the associate software director or software developer and the main software developer on the zombies side of things. So first up, we're going to be doing the storyline. So what this means is that the director, which would be Willard Wyler, brings them in and they act like they're auditioning for a certain role in a movie. But the director, Willard Wyler, sits them down in the theater and he wants them to get in character, so he starts to roll one of the films on his screen. Then a vortex will open inside of the screen and sucks the actors from their seats and into the 1980s. Now, the DJ inside of the world is David Hasselhoff. He's the guy that's killing it with all the sick 80s music inside of the park. Now, he's going to be the one who helps you escape, but no one really knows exactly how long he's been inside of Spaceland, and he might just get out with you. That's kind of what they talked about there on the stream. So a few things that are new. They said that the attractions would become weapons. So there's a roller coaster. There's something called the chromosphere, which is a black hole that will take the zombies away. There's the rocket fuels that'll be able to burn the zombies up once you run underneath them. I'm assuming you'll activate it, then run underneath. It'll give you a timer, and it'll start blasting off some of the rocket jets. So then there's also a spin ride that will knock the zombies away. I'm not 100% sure if it will kill the zombies or if it will just knock them and send them to a different part of the map and get them away from you for a little while. And there's also bumper cars that you can hop in and knock the zombies around and kill them that way. So I think that's pretty cool. They also announced that they're going to have a brand new tutorial mode. So if you're brand new to zombies, you really have no idea how to play it, this will help you. So the ways that they made the zombies mode just a tad bit easier. They've made the maps wider. They've made the lanes a bit longer. They've made the spaces in which you can get around the zombies much more accessible. So like if you're running a train on some zombies, it's kind of a little bit easier to maneuver around and not die as quickly, not get caught up in that horde of zombies that you've been training for a while. So that's pretty nice. There's also, with the tutorial mode, you'll have pop-up tips when you walk by certain things in the map or in the park. It'll help the audience and the player understand kind of how to play zombies. I've got a few screenshots, so they're going to be thrown up here and there when I'm talking about the associated subject. So now let's move on to the weapons side of things. Now the weapons, I'm going to talk about the abilities here really quickly. There's two abilities that they announced that are for sure in this game. There's one called the Repulsor, where you can see right here, he blasts the enemies with like a green burst of energy and it blasts them backwards. And then there's also what they call Armageddon. Now Armageddon drops meteors on the zombies, and these actually come from things called fame and fortune cards. Your fate and fortune cards, I'm sorry. So your fate and fortune cards are what allows you to have these certain abilities. But we'll get into that here in a minute. So you can also modify the weapons that you get on the wall, but you'll be able to do that before you ever get into the Call of Duty Zombies game. You'll be able to add up to 6 attachments to personalize the gun before you even go into the game. So it kind of sounds like they're going to be having another creative class mode or a gun workshop like they did in Black Ops 3. Now they also announced something new, which is the leveling aspect of your weapons, so you can unlock those certain attachments. The leveling system between zombies and multiplayer is going to be shared, which I think is pretty cool, especially since if you have like a level 17 weapon like the M8 and Infinite Warfare multiplayer, you want to be able to have those attachments in zombies and not have to work for them all over again. So some of the new weapons and gadgets that they have in the game is the Scourge freeze gun. You guys can see that right here. It's freezing the zombies and completely stopping them in place, which is pretty cool. And they said if you run up and melee them while they're frozen, then they just shatter into pieces, and you know that's how you kill the zombies. They also have something they call the transponder teleporter, which is a teleporter obviously that you'll throw on the ground, and if you get in trouble somewhere around the map, you can click the button for the transponder teleporter and you'll be able to jump back to wherever you dropped off that that transponder. So there's also a gun called the Face Melter that sets zombies on fire and actually turns them into live fireworks that will shoot off into the air and explode into a bunch of bright colors. Now moving on to something else that most people really care about is the magic wheel. Now the magic wheel is what the random box has turned into. It's what it's converted to. Now there are certain weapons that you can get inside of the mystery wheel, and there's certain weapons that it'll give you like a pistol, or it'll give you the Scourge freeze gun. You know, there's certain weapons that you can get inside of the magic wheel, and you won't be able to get them off the wall. Now they also added something called Lost and Found. Now Lost and Found comes into play whenever you bleed out and you die. You lose most of your weapons, correct? So that kind of sucks in itself. So you can go to the Lost and Found inside of the park, and you can get your weapons back by paying a small fee. So no more losing that pack-a-punched, whatever it's called, you worked so hard for and spent all the money in the mystery wheel on, and you can be able to go and get it back, which I think is pretty cool. Moving on to the Fate and Fortune cards, which you'll be getting from a fortune teller, and you'll be able to get them at the start of the game. The Fate cards are permanent, and the Fortune cards are consumable that you'll get through loot, and you can use them once per game. There's short-term buffs for the players, and you can get things like some cool guns, a few cool guns for a few minutes. You can get some money when you get hit by certain zombies. You can stand by a certain character and get stronger. And what's great about these is they are stackable, so you can use them on top of each other. And then if you do happen to run out of those Fate and Fortune cards, you can go back to the fortune teller, and he'll give you 3 more cards per game for a small fee. So you can only get a certain number of cards per game. And I think that is, I think you can get 3 cards 3 times. So I think you can get a total of 12 cards if you start out with 3 in the game. So there's a few more team mechanics that allow the game to be more interactive between players. It allows them to have more interaction between each other. So one of them is called the ATM, and that allows other teammates to give money to other players to allow some people to get some money. You know, say you die and you lose all your weapons, and you go to the Lost and Found, you get them back, but you don't have any money to, say, get a new weapon off the wall in case you're running out of ammo. So the ATM, you can go there, you can deposit some money, and then another teammate can run up, hit the button, and get all the money that you have just deposited, or how much ever money is in the ATM, and get it all back, which is pretty sweet. So like you, your friend, and your other friend can deposit money for the guy that has no money, and then he can get all the money that you've just pitched in. There's also what they have announced that are team door buys. Now the team door buys is where you can each pitch in a certain amount of money. You can pitch in how much ever you really want to for the door, and you can keep pitching in, and it will unlock. It will unlock once the counter, I guess, hits 0. So if you owe like 900 points to open this door, if your buddy pays 400 and you only pay 300, the door's not going to open until you get another 200 more, which either you can put in or your friend can put in, which is pretty sweet. So they now also offered a Afterlife mode and an arcade mode. Now the arcade is kind of the same thing as the Afterlife, but I'll get into why they're kind of the same. So the arcade is where you can earn tickets by playing certain arcade games inside of the map. So you create a crawler and you play the certain games, and you'll be able to earn points by winning the games. You can shoot basketballs, you can do bowling, you can do skee ball, you can play the arcade games, and you'll earn tickets for playing those games and winning them. So, and you can also buy weapons with them, and it's pretty sweet. Now, the big part that everyone is going to notice about this is whenever you bleed out, this is where you go. You'll go to the arcade mode, and you'll be able to actually earn enough tickets to buy your way back into the game, which is pretty freaking sweet. So they also announced a few Easter eggs that are littered throughout the map. There's some that are hardcore. There's some that are super easy. You know, it all varies on what you really want to go for. Their main goal was to keep everybody interested in Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Zombies and not make it just for the hardcore zombies fans like it was in Black Ops 3, where the Easter eggs are super, you know, extravagant and super complicated that really no one can complete them without a team. And you can actually complete all the Easter eggs solo too, which is pretty sweet. Now, they didn't announce where the Pack-a-Punch was, which kind of sucks, but they, you know, we might be able to get some more information on that. I'm sure once the game comes out, someone's going to find it within the first day or so. They also announced that the Zombies game mode goes along with round-based difficulty, so the higher rounds you get, the more difficult it becomes, and the more zombies that spawn. There's also a challenge section, which comes from Neil the Challenge Robot, which is a robot that you can actually craft and build with the certain parts inside of the map. And he will have different challenges like spawning zombies. He'll put out a bunch of different challenges, and your team will get tickets for completing those challenges. So that's pretty much it I have for today, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you are most excited about for Infinite Warfare Zombies. I'm definitely excited about the arcade mode because I was always pissed off when I died inside of Infinite Warfare, or not Infinite Warfare Zombies, just zombies in general. I was always pissed because I died and I would lose all my weapons. So now I can actually go and get them back from the lost and found, and I have an opportunity to join back in the fight with all of my friends and continue playing the game, which is freaking sweet. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please smash the like button. It does help me out, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, let your life be infinite. I'll talk to you guys later.